Colorado Springs voters are deciding on how the city should grow. Ballots were mailed out May 23rd. The election is June 17th. It's one single question: should a development near Schriever Space Force Base be annexed into Colorado Springs city limits? News 5's Alasyn Zimmerman breaks down the arguments for and against.
Where do we build housing in Colorado Springs? Is it up? Is it out? Or right in front of the News 5 building? That's not what we're here to talk about, but in a couple of weeks, if you live in Colorado Springs, you'll need to turn in your ballot to let the city know whether you think a proposed development near Schriever Space Force Base should be annexed into Springs city limits. Let's take you there. This nearly 2,000-acre section of land near Schriever Space Force Base is known as Karman Line. City Council approved its annexation earlier this year, meaning it would be a part of the city limits. But then there was an effort to reverse that decision. Organizers got enough signatures on a petition to require City Council to either change their minds or allow voters to decide on this annexation in a special election. City Council sent it to voters.
I mean, every day it's a National Geographic moment.
Ann Rush lives near the proposed development.
No to annexation!
She was among the organizers to get this on the ballot.
It's definitely going to impact our quality of life. I would say when you hear it's very quiet here, you know, you put 6,500 homes on top of that ledge. We're going to be hearing that.
Her concerns do not stop at the potential noise. She sees issues with response times for first responders, water supply, and increased traffic.
We're not trying to say that we're anti-development, anti-growth. We're just trying to stop the city from doing something that is going to cost the citizens of Colorado Springs more money.
When Colorado Springs Utilities presented to City Council in January, it estimated the cost for infrastructure it's responsible for, like pump stations and meters, would be between $90 and $135 million. That is funded through base rates. Utilities expects to make that money back in 9 to 13 years as more customers start paying. The developers are required to pay for extension of utilities beyond the current city limits and the utility infrastructure within the development, like electric lines and wastewater collection. That is expected to cost $128 to $146 million.
Annexation helps with things like utilities. It helps with things like law enforcement. There's other alternatives like building in the county, but the county is really more predisposed toward larger lot sizes and things like that.
Eli Bremer is one of the partners on the project. He says housing is a real need near our local military bases like Schriever Space Force Base. Housing costs have also come up as a concern for future growth for the defense industry in the Springs.
The best thing we can do is be ready to support our military, build the infrastructure around the bases, and then there's so much work that's going to happen. It's important for our community. It's also important for our national security.
Space Base Delta One, which includes Schriever and Peterson Space Force bases, will not publicly endorse being for or against this project. A couple of weeks ago, the commander of the base sent a letter to government officials, city council, and county commissioners. It said in part, having residential rural zoning has protected critical military infrastructure for 75 years and will continue to play a critical role in the future as population centers move closer to the fence line of Space Base Delta One installations. It goes on to say there's a need for affordable and appropriate housing for junior service members and civil service employees. A fiscal analysis for the project shows a small lot single-family home would start at $500,000. An attached home, think like a duplex, could start at $400,000 for this development. That same analysis shows multifamily properties like townhomes and condos could start at $217,500. And on the high end of housing costs, that analysis shows a ranch with more than an acre in the development would start at $2 million. Important to note, this is a city election. If you do not live in Springs city limits, you will not be able to vote. We have the information you need ahead of Election Day on our website, KOAA.com.
And Alasyn, I have been wondering for months, why is it called Karman Line? And we haven't shared that in our reporting yet.
You and I both. So learned this in the process of reporting this. So Karman Line is the name for the imaginary boundary between where Earth ends and space begins. So the people behind the development tell me that because they decided to name this because military operations really deal with Earth and space between Peterson and Schriever.
And thanks to you, I've gone down a rabbit hole about Karman Line and what that all means today. So thanks, Alasyn. But at least we know now. Alasyn, thanks.